Hello and welcome. It's me, Brandy Rose Smith, live in the Forbidden Library, and today you know what day it is. It's Tuesday, isn't it? And it's Limbus Day. Hello everyone. Hello Rahel, hello Exnam, hello Nimby, hello Tinkek, hello Lucifer OBG Man, hello Wellpaw, hello any Lurkers, hello any Vodders. Welcome to today's Limbus stream. I was just leveling up, people, because I've been good and actually grinding a little bit, so I had some XP to spend. And obviously my team is not quite up to scratch. So. Tuesday, innit? Yeah, it is. So, I have been selectively leveling a few people up to level 50. I keep using Dawn. But I'm probably going to get a new Dawn ID soon. I don't want to use Manager yet. We're not leveling up Manager. We do not level up, what were they called them? The Capstone IDs until we've done the Canto. Hello, Maxwell. Yes! Thumb Rodian looks amazing. She's not got call out, but I want it. She doesn't have a gun, though. Why does she not have... Why does she have to be one of those thumbs that uses a sword? Use a gun! Not even a bullet-powered sword! Give her a gun! Give her a gun. Give her a gun. Thumb Rodian and Thumb Heath. I know! I could pair them with the rest of my thumb team! No doubt this idea will have the prettiest animation of all ideas. Yes, it will. Because it's Roger! She has the prettiest of all prettiestness. Exactly. I'd like a little gun team going along, but I don't have a gun team. Well, we should put, this would be my gun team. If I had one, we'd have my thumb baby, and then we'd have full stop office, and we'd have full stop office, and the rest, if I had more guns, I would use them, but I don't. Rapier revolver? That's so cool. Wait, that's like Weiss in Ruby. Because she has the revolver for the different dust. She doesn't need a gun. She got these... she got other assets. She's beautiful. I've seen, like, I can't help it, I found some, like, sprites and stuff of characters, so I've seen the characters that they're copying from. And it would have been insanity if that character didn't get a Roger ID. Because she looks like it anyway! She already looks like Roger! That is Roger, what are you on about? Don't need a gun when you got damn buns! Exactly. I think Thumb is cool, but if you're going for gun IDs, Hornetmer from Whelp's the way to go. He is, but you know, I do not have enough for that kind of stuff. So I would like some advice. Cause, like I said, I have enough to dispense a Don Quixote, but I think we were planning to maybe wait for Whelp and get Magical Girl Don Quixote. But if that's the case, then I can leave my Don Quixote shards as is. And what do you think? Who do you think I should spend my next shards on? Should I be trying to get Ryoshu shards and get her capstone? The Unga Bunga, as I have been told? Or do I follow my heart and then... Oh, but if I do get Ryoshu ones, I could get the gun Ryoshu. I could get the pink gun Ryoshu. Pink gun Ryoshu, pink. Or should I maybe be trying to get some, the middles? I like win rate strategies. I don't know if you noticed. Or maybe I should be going for middles so that I can get... I could also finish off the Mao collection, actually. We could finish off the Heisho collection because I can. Not quite. I didn't get everyone's Heisho, to be fair. I'm missing a couple. I'm missing the Don Quixote. And I'm missing Sinclair. And Heathcliff, I believe. Yeah, and Heathcliff. Nearly there. Ryosh's capstone is really good if you get all the other House of Spider IDs. Yeah, I thought so. That's the only thing that puts me off, is I don't have to want to get like every other ID for it. She's only the strongest if you have all the others, but even without, she's still absurd. It's good to know. But I also love with this, we have Daddy Yisang, Daddy Honglu, Daddy Autis. I'm so glad the next one is Daddy Roger. I go for Yisang next. This one, the index nurse father Yisang. I do kind of want that Furioso, I'm not gonna lie. That was so much fun using from one of your supports. Similar power when win rating, yes. Yeah, maybe we'll go for the Yisang then, because the problem with getting the capstones is then I can't use them later on, because I'm going to have to get a different Honglu before we get to Honglu's Kanto. Because like I said, I don't want to use the capstones in the Kanto, because I feel it's spoilery and it feels wrong, and I don't like it. So, yeah, maybe we'll aim for Yisang next then. How many? I have 200 of Yisang, so that's not bad. It won't be too far away. Or I was thinking of maybe getting Roger so that I could save for her thumb coming out in case I don't roll it. Because I've got a few more of that one as well. But anyway, thank you for your thoughts. I appreciate that. I like to get your thoughts on things. You're more, you guys are more in tune with what's going on than I am. Go! Let's go to the negotiation. Do I have BL Mersault? Boy love Mersault? Who's he dating? Yowie Mersault? I don't know. Which one's BL? Blade Lineage! Not Yowie Mersault. Lineage Mersault. I don't know. I don't think so. I'd have to check. I don't think so though. So this passageway leads straight to Mistopheles. This is where it all started! This stupid bus awoke me from my slumber! Why? If only this bus hadn't completely filled up the freight car, I wasn't passing on commencing the parade so soon, or creating a kindred at all! Hi, Red Roach! The only person Mersault loves, and that's his mother. Dante. Hmm? The connection has been restored. Ah, is it because you're on the bus now? Connection? The suddenness of her statement briefly knocked me off my train of thoughts. I looked at her and cocked my head in confusion. She replied in an even quieter whisper without looking away from the blood fiend. Boarding Mistopheles has re-established my connection to Faust. Cha-ching! Did you know this would work? No. And as I've stated before, this was a pure, incalculable gamble based off my own uncertain hypothesis. She has 1 bar of Wi-Fi, and by God is she gonna use it! This success helps me somewhat comprehend Miss Rogers' fascination with gambling. Oh no! She's gonna get into gamba! A faint smile momentarily appears on Faust's lips as suggests, then fades away. Now that the connection has been re-established, I would like to make a complaint against the Fausts in the Gestalt staff management regarding the fact that they neglected to list the information pertaining to the loss of connection within the interiors of the warp trains. However, she's gonna put in a complaint with the mods! Finding a solution to this situation takes precedence. I have much reason to believe that their omission was done on purpose, but I hope it is not the case. Faust gently advances towards the blood fiend. Let us discuss the detail of our compromise. What are you willing to accept in return for the master keycard? If thou wert just anyone, I would have wished to turn thee all into blood bags and drink every last drop of thy blood, but thou art unlike common person. My wish is to maintain the secrecy of this kingdom of mine for as long as possible, and thine wish is to leave this place, is it not? Once I relinquish this keycard, and once thou returnest to your first-class seats, we'll live here happily ever after, like nothing happened. And when the train gets there, you get off the train, everything goes back to the way we're supposed to be. How's that for a deal? So early. With the posture check. I want to shrimp. How dare you? Fine. Like nothing happened. Faust, what about the job we were contracted to do in the first place? Don would never take this deal. Heathen! Upon arrival, our memories and any signs of battle will be entirely erased. We will have no way to relay the news, whether it be one of success or failure. If we had the means to defeat him, then at least W Corp would inform us that our contract was successful after the fact. However, this current scenario will leave us with nothing to show for, not even the smallest hint, and the contract will end in failure. It is necessary, but shut up. Thank you for caring about me, but shut up. Gotta undergo colonization for a bit. However, what takes precedence over the contract is you and the sinner's psychological stability. It's not like we've always been successful, so that was something I could live with, but what about the other passengers of this train? And its future passengers? I remember the look on Don Quixote's face whenever we could come across these inevitable forms of injustice. Faust does not reply. Yet to the lack of reply was a reply all on its own. Are we going to have to let them die? Innocent lives will be lost. But we cannot prioritize their lives over our safety. That must be Faust's and the company's policy. And yet... Oh! Shit! She shan't allow it. I shan't allow this. Don Quixote? I thought her wounds were too severe for her to crawl, let alone walk. But with sheer will, she pushed herself through the pain and reached the freight car. I will not tolerate this. We cannot let this vile wretch live and turn a blind eye to everything he's done. Could argue euthanasia given the warp train experience. It's her again! Yeah, it is. What? You want to stay here for what's essentially an eternity within this train? I know what this is about. Everything hinges on this key, doesn't it? As soon as I snap it in half, you'll have to spend eons inside of this. I care not. I would welcome it, even should it mean exacting aeons of penance upon thee. 'Tis much preferable to letting thy villainy go unanswered. Let this place be the site of thine eternal judgment. Pause, I need to hydrate. I think that was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's most of my tea, Max. Or you made me drink half my cup of tea in one. You bastard. That's absolutely quite metal of Don Quixote, I will not lie. Faust and I grabbed Don Quixote. She'd normally be strong enough to wriggle free of our grips, but she'd already pushed herself beyond her limits by merely walking. Faust, unhand me! Thou mustn't let him live, Manager Squire! Don Quixote, letting him destroy that key means you'll be condemning the sinners to thousands of years of torment. Then I shall fill the millennia with the tales most exciting that I had once read in the magazines. No amount of time, how ineffable, shall be too great to overcome should we endeavour as one. Bro. Don Quixote conveniently forgetting all the times where they nearly went mad at sea of boredom. Certainly you are aware that your suggestion is no solution at all, Don Quixote. Then there has to be another way, no? Thou art both possessors of great wisdom. Faust, Manager Squire, is there truly no path in which we may bring justice to the villain, and the sinners remain unharmed? Her struggling begins to wane, but this was no acceptance. This was dejection. Wait, Don Quixote, no! In the commotion, we failed to notice that the Blood Fiend had been quietly advancing at us. We let Don Quixote go at the last second. A second too late. Oh, Father, forgive my transgressions, for I am about to create another without thy sanction. Thou shalt be... Oh! So Don Quixote wasn't already a blood fiend? We just... Thou shalt become my next kindred! No! The baby! Cassetti screams incoherently as he leaps onto Don Quixote, piercing her neck with his fangs, before we even had the chance to do anything. Oh. I did not expect this to be the solution. Faust, what do you mean... Faust, what do you mean the solution? What? Brathian, I think if you spent 9,000 points on Hydrate, I would die. Please do not. According to this information I had viewed in the past, and once again just now, it's... Dante, take cover behind me and remain absolutely still. Hi, Kevlar. Don't bite the cinnamon roll, that's how you get diabetes. Ew. And please, do note that the other sinners must never hear a word of what is about to happen. Oh. Don Quixote levitates slightly into the air, the strings on her shoulders unraveling as they spill off her feet on their own. She looks on with bewilderment as her running shoes... Rocinante! Her tone changed. Yep, I got it. Rocinante! And... yeah, I think you got that. I don't need to read that for you. I've always had this question swirling at the unfocused backstage of my mind. Why are you always so protective of those running shoes, Don Quixote? Huh? Running shoes? Dost thou speak of our dear Rocinante? Yeah. Those. I have battled through thick and thin, feast and famine, with dear Rocinante, in sorrow and in joy, no matter the brutality of trials that hath struck me. It hath been a loyal steed by my side for however long it hath been in existence. She doesn't know when she got them. Ah, manager, squire, wherefore hast thou not saluted Rocinante as well? This may be a rather auspicious occasion to do so. No, I think I'm good. Be not so bashful. Go on ahead. Look stinky. Small girl is touching tiki-toki with Stinky. Stinky they are not, scuffed as they might appear. Rocinante is in pristine condition, although thou shalt not address me as small girl. Evacuate, evacuate. Stinky Don. Absolutely Stinky Don. You haven't heard the voice acting before? Well, this wasn't... Some of you were saying that it wasn't voice acted before. Don Quixote, don't tell me you sleep wearing those running I mean, Rocinante. Oh, I have always been quite certain that someone so esteemed as the manager esquire would care to ask me how Rocinante fareth. I didn't mention that this question was inspired by the numerous eyewitness reports from other sinners who saw her wandering the halls in her pajamas and wearing Rocinante. Verily, Rocinante and I remain bound together even in slumber. There shall be no separating the two of us. We are bound by not by need nor want. We are simply bound together through plight and delight. Now that I think about it, every single identity of Don Quixote also wears that pair of running shoes. Rocinante. Have you ever taken them off? Taken them off? Whatever dost thou mean? As in detach Rocinante from my body? 'Tis a very odd insinuation thou makest. She looks at me with puzzled eyes, as though taking off those pair of running shoes was somehow an inconceivable idea. There was something much more than... They were something much more than just her favourite pair of running shoes. Her attitude about it was totally detached from common sense, too. But she didn't notice anything strange about herself. Yep, because that's the Don Quixote flavour of Delulu. What does Rocinante mean to Don Quixote? What even is that thing? Ugh. An overwhelmingly powerful pressure suddenly explodes, radiating in all directions. As the metallic stench of blood suffocates the bus, filling every corner of it with sickening horror. Then darkness. No! Oh Lord, it's the manager. Hi! That's impossible! In all-absorbing darkness, voice is our only light. You're the second kindred. How did you... I should have felt your presence. I do think I saw a faint shimmering. It was red. She wore a long fur adornment of sorts. And though the shimmering I saw, and through the shimmering I still think I saw red eyes. It's kind of funny for them to make a plot relevant detail about a character sprite you literally can't see in any scene due to the edge of the screen cutting up below the waist yet. But it's on all the IDs, so I like that they pointed that out, because I bet me and many others probably went to ID sprites after the and went, holy shit, it's there. You have committed the sin of filial impropriety, transgressor. I know that voice, but I also don't. I've never heard it in such a low, imposing tone before. It speaks toward the lesser being. The blood fiend shriveled and kneeling, trembling, pathetic. Oh, Shadow! And now... Don got activated as a blood fiend. It's funny how they warn about Kanto 9 spoilers, but not Kanto's. A lot of the IDs are Kanto spoilers. Like, I kind of figured about the whole Blood Fiend thing, not just because of the April Fools, but because, you know, the La Mancha Blood Fiends. I'm like, ah, okay, that makes sense. Mercy, oh venerated ancestor! I beg for the mercy of the second kindred! I beg for the mercy of the second kindred! I beg! Spanish vampires. Yeah, I'm just saying that April Fool's wasn't the only hint I had. Insolent worm. Blech. Crimson droplets of blood slowly rise around the Blood Fiend's mouth before congealing and sealing his mouth shut. Yeah, second kindred, so that means she's basically like as close to vampire origin as you can get, bar one. No language worming its way out of your maw shall be worth my ears. No. To commit the sin of filial impiety by attempting to travel against the bloodstream, to commit such abomination against your ancestor. I cannot well sanction your impudence of continued existence. Coagulate, then melt away. Cassetti's body begins to liquefy into a slick stream of blood, his form curdling and crumbling and dripping to the ground. He melts rapidly yet ponderously, like that ice cream Don Quixote loved so much, puddling on the floor, heated under the searing sun. You could say, and I hate to use this, but this game has given me so many reasons to use this phrase. He's sloshing. I know. No more Delulu, no more whimsy. Still small. Still small. You. Don Quixote turned to look at me, who was still on the ground after being thrown by the shockwave. And with a cryptic look of pity, she uttered something. Indeed. You must be the promised timepiece. Something I couldn't quite understand. Rocinante. To me. Rocinante. I beseech you. I carefully reached out, grabbed her shoes, and slipped them onto her bare feet, one by one. One day. She gasped, stumbled, and slumped to the ground. Even smaller without the boots, true. Anya. Anya, 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 anya. So, she's got... Rocinante is her limiter. Her magical limiter. Uncertainty. Well, yeah, I'd be a little uncertain after that. Yeah, you gotta get Rocinante on her feet before midnight. Can somebody explain what just happened in a way that makes sense? Just like Shadow. Yeah, just like Shadow! I knew that the sinners would be shocked and confused. After all, when they, including Faust and Don Quixote, all came back to life after I rewound the clock, all that remained was the destroyed door to the freight car and the disgusting obliterated remains of what was once Cassetti. Our Legion never cut a finger near a blood fiend. Wise words. Leg John, not Legion, I'm just summarizing, I guess. Most had lost their consciousness from the mental stress of the prolonged battle against the Blood Fiend. And therefore, whatever measure it was that the manager has taken, it was appropriate. So, Heathcliff, time for your bloody hell speech. Well, good work, everyone. However, the definition of most excludes 3 individuals. Thus, it would be most appropriate to direct any questions at them. Wait. Who were those 3? Faust, the manager, and Don Quixote, who was still unconscious. Oh, really? Them? Oh, you're spot on. When did you have the time to notice that? Oh boy. I have identified the 3 conscious individuals by analysing their walking cadence and voices moments before my loss of consciousness. Right, so what's going on with the lass? Why is she still out cold? She appears to be in a state of deep slumber. As she's not in any risk of death, she will be waking up soon. I don't think she's going to remember what happened. Or if she is, she's going to be a wee out of it. Yeah, you can't sneak anything past Mersault. Mersault is a walking Wikipedia. Only way you can sneak past him is if nobody asks if he saw anything. You say you mean if Altisks ask if he saw anything? But also, remember Faust's last words. Please do not note. Do note that the other sinners must never hear a word of what is about to happen. Don Quixote was unconscious, and Faust was answering every question with silence. It was only natural that everyone would turn to me for some answers. That's, you know... Wait, that reminds me. Where's the key card? Last I remember, it was in Cassetti's hands. Who's far more presentable state than he was in before. Wait, so what about the key card he was holding now? It has been half liquefied. The remains have melted with his fingers and bones. It appears to have become one with the middle phalanges. Wait. Oh. Oh no! Everyone, remain calm! Calm down! I said calm down! I really should have packed more cigarettes, huh? How about we force one of these doors open? The master key card is not an absolutely necessary element to resolving this situation. Ow! I did see Sasha in the corner during that cutscene, I did. It will require approximately 5 hours to formulate an explanation that will allow the sinners to fully comprehend the exact how of this methodology. Therefore, it will be delivered to you in a digestible, summarized format. Well, that was short-lived. She's acting all smug again. We can utilize the back door of Mephistopheles. The steely confidence in her declaration was more than enough to win us over. So we headed to the corridor past the back door, Don Quixote slung over one of our shoulders, and arrived at our destination. I can't not ask what happened seeing the state you're all in. Sandy pitter, sandy patter. Grains of sand and seashell-like things fell with every step of the sinners took. Ask someone after me explicitate. It can. Grains of sand roll about in my throat with every word spoken. Some time ago, Faust explained the gist of this plan as we made our way to the back door. To put it simply, we will spend the time in a space disconnected from the train. The train should be arriving at its destination in approximately 10 seconds, going by the A-Corp timescale. All we must do is remain somewhere in our original dimension for that duration. With that, Faust came to a sudden stop in the middle of one of the corridors. Wait, are you seriously just gonna open that door? With this many doors here? You sure? That's the right one? Yes, this is the correct door. Its safety is guaranteed. Heathcliff with his former trauma here. Lass, at least tell us what's past the door. I did not bother verifying that particular information myself. It is necessary for the future endeavours that I gain the experience of encountering something completely unexpected. What? Oi! Wait! Faust did not wait for Heathcliff to finish his sentence before jerking the door wide open. Now please enter through this door. With Faust's stern command, we quickly walked into a building that looked like a derelict abandoned hospital of sorts. I think we walked into the middle of a sandstorm. Hello, Double! Presently at my respite, seeking to pay my respects, I shall resume my narrative in a few moments' time. My back is quite vexed from such prolonged sitting. You should get up and do some stretches then, she says, getting mad at any attempt to make me do stretches, but still. The multi-crack office Faust actually avoided Sash's fate because of this event. Ah, fun. They're in Dune with the worms, yeah. Are we indoors? How the heck is this even happening? I can't open my eyes. That's sad, but wait, no wait. Is this a sandstorm? But are we inside of a building? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The sinners blurted out a series of colourful complaints, trying to cover themselves in the blasting sandstorm, but Faust continued to count in the same indifferent rhythm before dragging us out of there just as urgently as she'd ushered us in. So, we managed to return safe and sound to the interiors of the warp train as it arrived at Peacock platforms. The train was still getting cleaned up, that is, and with our bodies completely covered in sand. Oh, I thought we'd never make it. Whoa, you guys okay? How did these passengers... We were so happy to be done with the ordeal that even the W Corp cleanup agents in the middle of a cleanup mission looked downright hospitable. We are employees of Limbus Company who boarded the warp train at the behest of your employer. Oh, so you guys are the people our captain told us about. They really let you guys keep your memories, huh? Oh, that reminds me. One of the employees must be sleeping inside the hibernation pod over there. Oh, that? Oh, I've never seen it in action before. Thanks, let me go check. We walked over to the hidden compartment behind the chair that a cleanup agent crawled into. Inside it was... Huh? There isn't anyone in here. Huh? Maybe we're looking at the wrong pod? This is the correct spot. Then the disappearance of the individual who entered this pod would indicate... Guess these folks aren't all there in their head, do they? Maybe you guys are just mistaken. Waste disposal. Do you think he was just like shot out into that weird space? I doubt that. Yes, we must have suffered from a momentary collective hallucination caused by fatigue. Very well then, we will see ourselves out. Faust cut the conversation short before the other sinners began asking too many questions. Now that I became immediately familiar with the meaning of that gesture, I followed her outside without another word. Have we arrived? Rise and shine, lass. Have a nice kip, did you? I would like to think Heathcliff was the one giving the piggyback. Do you think that armor is like Vegeta's or just normal armor? I'd love it to be like Vegeta's. I see. I'll hear the details of the incident on the bus once we're traveling again. Understood. Any and all relevant reports will be sent to W Corp via LCCA, and Virgilus was already there when we arrived, discussing the events aboard the train with Faust. He looked oddly apprehensive. And I will leave with Charon to go watch as they unfasten the stopper from the train. The minute hand on the manager's head seems to be desperately signaling to me that they have a lot of burning questions to ask you. Allow me to give you two some space. Stop it with your posture checks! My posture is fine! Meh. How dare you care? I was finally able to ask Faust once Virgis left. Why did you do that? Faust's body was, quite literally, blasted to pieces from the sheer explosive pressure that filled the room the moment Don Quixote's shoes came off. That's how stanky her shoes were. Hi Jake, welcome. I thought your model was shrimping for a second. No, I'm up straight, I promise. I just finished my tea. Yay! It was as though she knew what was going to happen. Well, by the sounds of it, Limbus Company obviously has promised something to all the sinners. And I think what they promised to Don Quixote, they promised to the Don Quixote without the shoes. Because it was the preferable course of action to letting the same explosive demise occur to your body instead. I do find it regrettable that you were made to turn the clock, despite my knowledge of the high likelihood of my death upon that occurrence. No, I'm not blaming you for that. I hope you are too, Jake. Need a tea drinking streak. I just want to know how long you've known that Don Quixote is... That is something I have been aware of since LCB was first established. The same could be said to Virgilus. Oh, so Virgilus knows as well? Of course. However, it was by the will of the LCA superiors that this knowledge remained withheld from the manager until the appropriate moment. Hi, Poseidon! Have a nice lurk. And that appropriate moment was back there? According to my private judgment, yes. As well as my connection to all communications, including one to Faust, had been severed, I was not in a position to receive the headquarters authorization for that action. Right. Though the full truth may remain obscured still, we are once again returned. Returned. That was a layered word. We've returned to one of the warp platforms in our own dimensions. We've returned to our daily lives of speculating about what's next in our path, and the usual Faust, reconnected to Faust, has returned. Yes. Faust quietly affirms Yi-Sang's rather nebulous question. Please do not take this query with any greater importance than a mere jest. However, do you suppose I shall see her again? Yi-Sang sees through you, Faust. I know these two are a ship, and it is a very cute ship. She shot a puzzled look at Yi-Sang. In a way, it was quite the pleasant encounter, was it not? It's very cute. He was like, I really enjoyed actually talking to you and just you. Yisang mused ambiguously before leaving us. Absolute smooth riz going on over here from Yisang. Whew. The incident at the warp train was such a chaotic mess that it felt shorter than it really was. But it was also an opportunity to learn so much, but it was too soon to start racking our brains about what kind of nonsense trial we were about to face in P-Corp. So I decided to enjoy this momentary peace. How do we find ourselves at P-Corp? Wherefore is my throat so parched? Probably because you used up a shit ton of blood and you're thirsty. Ugh, I'm too tired to explain. Chiquita, you missed out big time on one crazy adventure. How, Game Boy? Faust was the one to bring the wet cat in from the rain after all. That's true. And the wet cats never forget the first person who brings them in from the rain. Huh? Oh, that vibrated the last few grains out of my ears. The sinners look at Don Quixote's bewildered awakening, grinning. There's no way to know what we'll be facing here at District 16, where P-Corp was located, but we got this, right? The same faith I saw in Faust, who believes in uncertainty, rises within me too. I looked up to Faust, only to see that Faust was looking at me as well. She nodded at me with her usual barely noticeable smile, and I gave her a light nod back in return. Time to go find ourselves another golden stick. Ah, we got a lot going on there. Sort of a bit of development for Faust. Through these two intervallos we've had development for Roger, we had development for Faust, we had a lot of development for Don Quixote. No, not yet. Not yet. Make me go back. Give me my loot. Thank you very much. And now we have a Welby? The fourth Welby. The Noon Violet. Oh, can I just go in? Two seconds. The purple slugs. I think I fought them in Mirror Dungeon and I hated it so much. But will we just do the easy one just to say we did? Alright, I did as you asked, Faust. I looked up towards Faust, away from the PDA in my hands as it rattled and fixed the identity cards into each slot. Today's the fourth Whelp night. The location is that same Lobotomy Corp headquarters of the past we visited. Its points in time and the branch of possibility uncertain. Thank you. Please proceed with the slotted identities to suppress the imminent ordeal. Whew. I've slotted in the Lobotomy Corp identities I pulled during the previous Whelp nights, which I did not do. Yes, Yessie. It's purple, so it's gotta be Yessies. Faust probably wants to study the correlation between Whelp nights itself and the identities that can be pulled only during each Whelp night. Well, ain't much of my business what identities we're supposed to wear, but can't you bother telling us where we are? I swear, it's always as you two. Yeah, I agree. We won't know what to do if you keep important stuff between the two of you, alright? Oh yeah, What he said. I was trying to figure out a way to avoid sounding irritated. Either way, you mince some words, don't you? Thanks, lad. So this is the same relationship they have in the middle as well. This is why he got Ricardo. So that he can give Sinclair stickers when he says good things. Also, Sinclair, we've established, is a mini angry boy. And then Heathcliff is an angry man. So he's like, this is my mini-me. I guess. F-U. Functionality upgrade? Come on, don't talk about me like I'm a machine or something. Hello, Blau Chips, welcome. Faust cleared her throat in an attempt to clear the air and stem the conversation from going on a tangent. We are at the information team department of the former L Corp. Headquartered. Long time no see! Yeah! I hope you've been doing well. That's why he and Ishmael hang out all the time, because he brings out her inner angry woman. Purple always sticks together. Yeah! Information team. Well, I do recall that the place we visited was called the Control Department team. Maybe they added a new department with every whelp? The training team and the safety team, both adjacent to this department, are currently accessible, and therefore your assessment is untrue. However, it is possible that there is a reason the first place the door connected to was this location. Perhaps further analysis may yield more concrete information. She's trying to take a more active role in learning things for herself. It seems that the events of the warp train rattled her more than I thought. Oh, honey! And no, that's a good thing, though. She's been so dependent on the Discord, on the AI. She needs to figure it out. I am hot, and in a bad way. I feel that in my bones. The place I work at the moment doesn't really have any working AC, and it's awful. We're drinking a lot. Luckily, we have unlimited cold drinks, so that's nice. The one time he was notably disappointed with Dante was when he didn't get mad over getting harpooned in Canto 5. This joke might have some ground. True. This place is pretty barren, huh? The more I look around, the more I just see purple. Oh, you got that right. Can't chalk that up to being a corporate office, if you ask me. Doesn't seem like a great workplace environment at all. I don't think Limbus Company was a great work environment ever. Faust called W Corp Faust for survival tips. I know! Cleaner Faust must be like, oh yeah, I get disconnected all the time. A good commander decorates their subordinates' living spaces with their morale in mind, even if it means going against their own tastes. Whoever heads this department must be quite unfit to lead. How dare you? You're right, but how dare you? I bet they're not the only one who's unfit to lead. Ishmael, who was rummaging through a pile of miscellaneous items, muttered from a distance as autism used at the ceiling. I found some employee doodles and scribbles back here. Oh, I suppose the department leads were called Sephira? They're saying something about how their Sephira is... Ooh, now that's some spicy profanity. Yes, he's just doing his... Well, no. Yes, he's a big stickler for the rules. I will read them. Mersault says spicy. Give it here. Mersault! You don't have to read the insults and profanities. Understood. In that case, I will instead peruse the document first and produce a comprehensive summary. Sometime later. That is all. Okay, so first of all, thanks for skipping past the profanities, but Wow, that made me feel bad. And I've got nothing to do with this place. NubCorp is a great work environment because it allows employees to express themselves with no restraint. I don't think Yessie would allow this. She's definitely used those profanities. It's not uncommon to see department leads shouting and butting heads, but perhaps a physical altercation would have been preferable to letting such bitter animosity fester like this. It was clear to us that the Sephiroth did not share a very healthy work relationship with one another. Yeah, and Yessie was a strict bastard. Not to mention that not many employees really put their faith in the Sephiroth. Hey, this Sephiroth called Malkuth. She must have been the Sephiroth of the control team department, where we fought the ordeal last time. I can tell from the way she talks, she treats her employees like part of a machine, driving them to their deaths, replacing them whenever they inevitably crumble. I guess a wing is a wing, after all. Eh. She learned from that, though. She got better. Yeah, look, it's a conversation log with Hod, the Sephiroth of the training team. Looks like she started off pretty rough, but managed to avoid making things hostile in the office. From the sounds of it, she really cares for her employees. Oh well, that's a whole nother type of annoying, though. Then her heart would never have rested easy as long as she was here. The grievances of the employees would have reached her ears nonetheless. She may have given herself doses of painkillers she hid under the label of altruism, and she truly cared for them despite it all. Yeah, poor old Hod. Hod just had too big of a heart. And this Yesod must have been, I see, the Sephiroth of the information team department here. Clearly a stickler for the rules, which is exactly how I've already described him today. Viper, he was called. Perchance he had an unsavory habit of sinking his teeth into his employees. Says you, Donko! I really hope when I click, we have Dante going like, Don Quixote talking about sinking teeth into things. No! It's only a figure of speech. He does seem like the irritating type, but he would have served as a decent strategist. This appears to be a meticulous record of work schedules. According to that digital calendar, the upcoming schedule is fast approaching. There is no time to share details regarding the ordeal. Brand new Buzzwell PP game! Yeah! Neocromancer, welcome! I keep catching you streaming Neocromancer, but when you are, you're streaming Limbus and I can't watch you for spoilers! It's annoying! How dare you play this game as well? On times when I'm free and could watch. I suppose we should have checked the documents first. A heavy thump of the lights follow Altus's deep sigh. The lobby lights suddenly changed and the floor began to tremble. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. We knew that an ordeal was coming after all. I still wish we'd had some prior knowledge of our enemies this time. What in the name of wings is that creature? A vermin, is it? It is so far, yet appears so grand in size. Naturally, we whipped around to look at Don Quixote, who then directed our attention towards something writhing in the distance. A thing of bizarre shape crawling and squirming. If they have appeared in the safety team's corridors, well then... There's more! There's more! Faust, anything you can tell us about them before they start rushing us? I shouted, watching the horror as it as the curious violet grub-like creature slowly spawned into the hallway from thin air. Even though she probably didn't have much time to tell me about them anyway. They will not rush us. There were reports that these entities are rather slow. In fact, they're an ordeal of violet, time, dawn. If they are indeed violet, then it's unlikely that we'll have much time to discuss this further. We must immediately engage them, starting from the safety team hallway, and a similar situation is very likely imminent in the information team and training team hallways. Huh? So we're gonna have to crush them? Like there's a timer or something? That would be an apt attitude, yes. The entities will soon be manifesting in every department. If we fail to quickly clear this zone and seek and destroy the other departments. If we don't, then we may come face to face with the kind of pandemonium we would rather not have the displeasure of experiencing. Every cloth counter in each department will immediately drop to 0, and thus the abnormalities contained within shall be released. Oh, bollocks! Come on! We just got off that bloody warp train! I think we'd have enough of the wing shenanigans to deal with by now. Yeah, sit and grab your weapon. I'm going in! No, I think we've earned a little bit of for fuck's sake moments. Fruit of understanding. Win rate, win rate, win rate. I understand nothing but win rate. Whoop. The Lobocorp music is fun. I didn't even really play Lobocorp, but it's still like almost nostalgic anyway. Purple slugs. Yeah, it's not the slugs I was thinking of that I fought in the mirror dungeon, which is good because I struggled with the big boss of those. I had to read. I did not want to read, so I decided just to not play anymore. I can play Lobocorp. I can. But do I have... Well, I could play it on my own, but that's not fun. You guys would want to see it. You guys would like to see me struggle, yes? And I don't have a free stream schedule for it. I have a very strict schedule of reading and limbusing. And at the moment, one-shotting. The game is suffering, which is why I'm hoping to kind of play that and then some like Ruiner mods. Maybe after one shot? No, we'll have other games to play. It's gonna be a case, I'm kind of saving it for when I get dry spells in Limbus. Because as much as content is coming out a fair amount, I'm catching up very fast. I'd ask for some mods for the running better of the game later. Yeah, exactly. Once I've caught up on Limbus, then basically when Limbus has no content for me, I can do that. Ruiner mods would be crazy, but I don't think it particularly fits with the channel. Because it's more about story. True. But some Limbus mods I've seen actually kind of have their own bits of story, if I remember correctly. I've seen people like making CGs and stuff for their own scenes and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. But I definitely do want to play more Lobocorp. I like getting all the lore on each of the little abnormalities. They're really fun. And after there's no more Lobcorp and Limbus, you gotta play Reception of 500 Feral Hogs mod. I guess. That probably will take more than 2 hours, though. Even if the hogs die easily. There's a mod for Runa that puts Lola, Nezuk, Hod, and Malkuth in beach outfit with unique pages. Wonderful! There's some good story mods like Angel of Ruina, Alternate Philip Ego mod, City of Drama, which predicted the ring. Exactly. I've seen a few that have been really good. Also, there are some like HoloLive themed ones. we can fight Shiori and Rissa. I think Rissa's in it. So there's a few different ones that I've looked at. I believe I still have it pinned in the Discord when I got given like a big list in the Limbus channel. Just checking now while I'm thinking of it. I have a lot pinned. What? Where's all my pins gone? Oh, well I got all the threads at least. Yeah, I don't think it's a thread though. I've got all my my decks as a thread. Oh, grant us love. Whoa, hello. That's victory! Everyone's dead! Sometime later. Oh, that's a relief. At least it wasn't indestructible. A rubble of broken stones lay about the exhausted sinner's feet. I remember seeing Ruiner story mods thinking there were spoilers. That's funny. But that didn't last long. I see. It fades away to naught. Yes, while the entity took the form of a stone's steel, an object commonly composed of inorganic matter, it's likely that its existence itself is perceived as a religious artifact in certain intermediate locales. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with hard mode today. True, that giant object did suddenly appear out of the air before dropping right in front of us. The biggin, which had once threatened the sinners with its tentacles, soon disappeared from our sight like it never existed. I'm not playing Ruiner again for the challenge. I'm looking for a really OP page mod, and we're just gonna have at it. I am not stressing through that game again. 2 years was enough. If Faust hadn't pushed me into the hallway just in time, I'd have been... Dante. Wham! We would have all died forever if that thing had crushed me too. We were not crushed by the stela to be exact. The issue was the shockwave that came after the crash. I thought I slipped away in time, but I had no idea the shockwave would be so deadly. Less tired Yujin? Oh, wonderful. Yujin with full health. Yujin with all her dice. Son Goku? Fuck yeah. So I plan on getting a few like busted pages. On play, kill target. That's what I need in my life. And then we'll go through some silly mods. We'll go through some story mods and stuff like that with that kind of shit going on. Maybe not too busted, but a little bit more busted. We're going to have to find a way to deal with that shockwave somehow, or it'll be too risky to continue with our Whelp Night expedition. I'm not saying that I'm scared of the pain of having to go through when reviving the sinners, which really, really hurts, of course, especially when it's 12-fold, but I'm not sure if I want to ask them to repeatedly run a mission that's guaranteed to kill them in the end. Moreover, we don't even know if whatever we'll find here will be worth the trouble. According to the information given, it is said that the ordeals cannot occur in immediate succession. They can't occur one right after one another. What did that giant piece of rock have nothing to do with an ordeal then? I also like minor Eugen buff. It's not a minor buff. There's a good mod that makes RT game, aka Drift King, back in college as a nugget and just give him a green screen. That's fun. Yes, it was indeed an ordeal of Violet. However, this was the noon of Violet. Ordeals of the noon are a degree higher than ordeals of the dawn, which we already have experience with. Faust's brows were frowning at a nigh imperceptible angle. She was sighing even as she relayed that information to us, clearly perturbed by something. I suddenly recalled what Faust speculated back at the warp train, that the Geishor shaft may have made a purposeful omission. You think this is the Geishor shaft withholding information from you again? There is no evidence to say that for certain. They did not withhold the information regarding the ordeal of noon. Thus, a more likely explanation is that this was merely a manifestation of a rare possibility. Yet your suggestion does concern me. If it was indeed a manifestation of a rare possibility, then we must seek for clues in this warped night that may point us to an explanation. So, should we explore further? But hot? Malk? Everyone, can you hear me? A loud buzz, crackle, and an unfamiliar voice broke through the awkward silence we were meandering in. Blimey, you said that? Oh, hearken unto thee! I guess I can't hear your answers anyway. It's hard, yay! Ignore what I just said. Hello, this is Hard from the training team speaking. It appears to be the Sephira Hard, whose name we first learned in the earlier document, is the one speaking to us. Ah, so this is her voice, huh? Gotta say, it's kind of what we all expected to sound like, right? Plus there's sheer mods, which are mostly solo mods with good pages. Fixed tier, which is support burn. Fixed Ivy, which gives more debuff. Support like feebleness arm. We are investigating how and why an ordeal of noon occurred immediately after the dawn. I understand that this is an unfamiliar situation like this may cause a sense of alarm and anxiety, but there is nothing to worry about as long as you remember the instructions under the exception number 40-AA measure, which I made sure to mention in every training session. Exception number 40-AA. How many exceptions did you come up with? She must be a leader with a very hands-on approach to team management. Commanders who are overprotective of their personnel often make such mistakes. Hydrate? I probably should, you're right. Guys, I don't think it's time to share our first impressions. We don't know what measure she's talking about. At this rate, we'll get... Oh? There was a dull thwick just as Sinclair began to air his concerns. Did I just get shot? You there, in the lobby. You've been dozing off during your drills, haven't you? I'm pretty sure I explained that in outlier cases like these, we'll be firing physical intervention shield bullets we share with the middle layer. So why are you acting all surprised, like you've never been shot before? Shield bullets? Oh, that bullet does look kind of familiar, actually. We carefully approached Sinclair to take a closer look at where the projectile hit him. Oh, I recognize this. It looks just like the decay ampule. It almost melted me into a puddle back at K-Corp. You were totally badass though, is she? Jumping right in front of Dante, taking bullets with it and everything. She went ahead and hurled a bloody harpoon into Clockhead's shoulder herself only a few months later. Looks like a good circular narrative structure. Okay, you smart ass. It is not a K-Corp ampule. While it is true that K-Corp's technology was used to regenerate its employees, a barrier field like this fundamentally differs from the type of technology used by K-Corp. It is said that Lobotomy Corporation maintained collaborative relationships with other wings, including K-Corp. Through the said collaborations, they obtain bullets and ampules of diverse functionalities useful for the workings of this company. It appears that this shield bullet is the result of one such partnerships. Wait, this bullet will... It is said that this bullet can partially negate physical damage, which is also known as red damage in Lobotomy Corporation terminology. It will likely shield us from the shockwave created by the stilly as well. We'll have a counseling session later about your lack of focus during training. For now, please try to suppress the ordeal of noon as soon as possible. I'll give everyone physical intervention shields, so let's try to take care of the ordeal with as few casualties as possible. Dante, let us. Alright, let's get a move on and deal with the other stillies as well. Indeed, it would be preferable if we returned after confirming the destruction of the stillies in the other areas as well. We'll have to visit Lobotomy Corporation headquarters of differing possibilities as well. We will make use of the Sephira and the shield as soon as we are able then. Good idea. Thanks to the unexpected support from a Sephira, we were able to explore further through the Wild Night. All those trainings for their own good. It's so hard. Is it so hard? Is that so hard to understand? It was just that I couldn't help but think back to Hod's last few utterances that managed to slip through the static. It made me wonder what really went down here at the headquarters of Lobotomy Corporation. Shit. Shit went down, Dante. That is what. Oh, lordy. Right. So, theatre, we've got hard mode. I'm not interested in going into hard mode. What I am interested in... Yeah! Right, let me give a drink. Are you ready to read? Are you ready to read? Read, 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 read. Districts! There's no other districts I could blown. It seems the fixers in each cardinal direction of the city differ in outfits and practices. Though I haven't had much of a first-hand experience with them as of now that I'm up north, I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to observe the differences. Limbus Company! The Sinners and I, well, the bus team, is mainly tasked with finding the golden sticks. But the Limbus Company is trying to grow its reputation as a company that provides distortion, suppression, capture, prevention services. I'm pretty sure I read all of these. It's hard to tell what I've read and what I haven't, I'm not gonna lie. Mischievous. It's about the refraction railway. A bluest station themed after a banquet hall. Several stations arrived, one after another, without break, and we had even had particular that looked like the sinners' identities and ego attacking us. No wonder the sinners were exhausted by the end of it. Faust called them patacula of envy, or pataculum invidiae. Yes, I know I missed some in the last note stream, so I'll do my best not to. Thankfully, this railway was kind enough to give us breaks between every few waves of enemies. And because we managed to blast through multiple stations at once, the sinners expressed that this one was preferable to the previous ones as it at least ended quickly. It makes me wonder, though, what happened to all those Pataculae and Vidae who first boarded the train. Did they get killed at the banquet of King in Binds? Or maybe they're still roaming somewhere within the station. Who knows? Who knows? The PDA device. It's my company-issued device. I write journal entries on it like I'm doing now, and I sometimes communicate with the sinners' identities too. There probably was some of that mirror technology involved in the making of this device. I use this device to converse with Catherine. It must have been the golden stick's powers that allowed me to talk to her directly. Did they stick the golden stick inside this device or something? Or maybe the presence of that golden stick allowed me to communicate with her through this supernatural channel, even with a mundane device like this. Golden sticks. I still have no clue how these golden sticks work, but if they really can grant people's wishes, it's got to be something incredible. Thinking back on it, resonating with a golden stick would create a sort of dungeon of the fathoms, or fathoms of ego, which we had to battle through. Perhaps the power of the golden stick is to realize the thoughts or imaginations of people. I know it barely makes any sense, but when is anything in this adventure? Whichever is the case, these golden sticks are sure something. So what is Limbus Company trying to achieve by collecting them? Some say the golden sticks have something to do with the mirror technology, but how? Every little thing I learn seems to lead only to more questions. Pick up. Their nest is located in District 16. It's full of extremely tall skyscrapers and spires that I have to bend my neck to see how tall they really are. Their speciality is canned items of sorts. Mersalt listed off all kinds of canned items, and I was able to learn that there was a lot of them. Various flyers covered the train station walls and pillars from top to bottom. Is something awful going on here, I wonder? Bit more about T-Corp. Well, I do understand that I accidentally manipulated a lot of time, but I asked Yi Sang out of pure curiosity how we ended up saddled with more than 10 billion arn of time tax. Yi Sang explained that each person has a different time tax rate, and how having more time means that one would have more time tax to pay. He continued to elaborate with various mathematical formulas, but I didn't understand even half of what. I mean, not even a quarter of what he said. No matter how much time someone has, they can't put it to use unless they withdraw a time balance the day before. With that withdrawn time, they can use them all at once to make their days longer, or save the time to invest them in a different occasion. Not that poor people would have the financial leeway to even think about doing the latter. T-Corp's chief executive director was the guy called Herbert. Don't even think that I've ever met an actual head of an entire wing before. Herbert helped the sinners, pretending to be our assistant. He used to strive to make the city a better place, or so he says. Honestly, given the state of T-Corp is in, I'm not sure if I buy that. He appeared somewhat resigned at first, letting the League of Nine literateurs go, ignoring the presence of Eurodive in his nest, but something about me seemed to have motivated him again. The question is why? He also gave me an ominous warning that turning back time always comes with a cost. But how could I not turn the clock? Herbert did give us a lot of food for thought. Whack up. After I found myself plenty of W Corp employee identities and learned quite a bit about warp trains from them, I felt uncomfortable enough to share the information with the Sinners, which turned out to have been a good move in hindsight. It would have been a disaster to have to explain warp trains to them at that moment. Other than letting us cryo-sleep through the warp train journey, we were also given complimentary snacks as part of the first-class package. Roger, who took my portion as well, as I have no mouth to eat them with, blissful expression made it clear that it was quite the delicacy. I did find it unusual that a train that, as far as the public knows, runs for 10 seconds bothered to sell package items or in-train meals. When I asked Faust, she explained that their purpose were less practical and more thematic, to give the passengers the impression of going on a trip. Another thing, I definitely remember seeing that employee crawl into an emergency escape pod. Where did he go? So why don't the warp trains specialize in shipping cargo? If they have to go through so much trouble and manpower to transport people, wouldn't it be much more efficient if they just transported cargo? Wait, I've sparked a debate. Oh no! Heathcliff said because transporting people was the whole point of the train. That suggestion seemed to have given Yisang an idea. Yisang noted that from W Corp's cooperation with T Corp, it is likely that they need time to operate their trains. Moreover, the T Corp chief executive director said that emotions don't change with time. Instead, time changes with emotions. It was something to that effect, at least. Based on what everyone said, we came to a pretty plausible conclusion that a state of emotionally transformative consciousness in an effective infinity of time is what moves or powers the warp train. Either that, or that state of unconsciousness. That state of consciousness is precisely what the warp trains are built to induce. Some Sinners and I applauded Yisang and Heathcliff for this hypothesis. Do you think he was saying it out loud as he was typing it, and that's how, like, we got, oh no, I started a debate. And then took note. The butlers! Yeah, interesting stuff, Don Quixote explained that the butlers are fixers signed into long-term contracts bound by individuals, families, or estates. Due to the wide range of their responsibilities, their pay is often decently lucrative, so a lot of high-grade fixers often take on butler contracts after retirement. So these fixers are retiring to become a different brand of fixers. Butlers bound to families or estates sometimes even forget what their initial contracts used to be, but apparently quitting is also a risky decision, given that taboo hunters or contract-related officers might come after them looking for a bounty. It's unfair, but it's not like they have an abundance of options. It's one of those rare guaranteed long-term tenure jobs in the city that pays a decent wage, so most of them settle for staying as butlers instead of risking unemployment. Yeah, that's fair. Associations. Devat Association. Apparently, they make deliveries using dimensional bag equipments with AI called courier trunks. To be exact, it seems like the association assigns the type of thingy most appropriate for the contract and path of each Devat fixer. Faust explains that they embed the core or module installed with AI to each individual's courier trunk, and the point is they install the AI on the bag and use it to deliver stuff. Now, when they say AI, I know that, is it AL or AI? I'm pretty sure it might not, because AIs aren't allowed. So any items in each trunk are often well preserved, and their deliveries are rarely late, making them a vital association in the city. Maybe we can make use of their services one day. Sounds pretty convenient. After a brief conversation with the identity, I learned the AI greatly empowers its users if they determine that it may be difficult to make a delivery on time. Failure to make punctual deliveries could result in death. No wonder they rarely miss a deadline. Take too long? Kaboom! Zwei! They seem to specialize in protecting and upholding the public peace of the zone requested by their clients. They often call themselves your, as in the client, shield. I've learned from conversations with Zwei identities that they specialize in protecting things, but only if they are contracted to do so, of course. Of course. Similar to a GPS intelligence. Ah, okay. Eurodive! A syndicate founded by Sonia, Roger once told me that they used to help the downtrodden of the backstreets, but eventually devolved into armchair revolutionaries who did nothing but sit around talking about how they're going to change the city. They've been slowly spreading their influence through the nests. We even ran into Eurodive terrorists using various inventions to cause trouble in the teacup nest. Eurodive, who venerate Sonia as their saint, said they're waiting for the right moment. I don't know why they're calling Sonia the saint, or what moment they're talking about, but something about it rubs me the wrong way. From what I gathered from listening to the Sonia is not the same kind of saint as the DCI Association, which is that one. Specialize in research and knowledge. Good to know. And fixes a fight with their keys? What? Dimensional containers. The bags that butlers carry are called dimensional containers, or dimensional attach cases. It seems pretty convenient, being able to store things greater than its external appearance may suggest. Maybe it's kind of like the back door in Mistopheles. The size and capacity of each dimensional case depend on the make. The more expensive it is, the bigger its capacity, and smaller its external size. Dich. Dich. Is it German? Sounds like German. The size and capacity of each dibbidi-bear. We can't stuff a person into the dimensional cases, apparently. Maybe it's like warp trains, where it needs to differentiate between people and items. Maybe. Mirror worlds! The mirror shows possibilities that may or may not have been. When Catherine, Nellie, and Heathcliff from the mirror world gazed into the mirror, they only saw all kinds of tragedies in their future. If there really are worlds of infinite possibilities, then there must have been an infinity of time they have to observe, right? So can we really say that they saw every possible future? In other words, is it even possible to do something like that? It makes me wonder if we can actively interact or something with the mirror worlds. So we make use of these mirror technologies almost daily. but we know so little about it. Yi Sang also said the mirror worlds are like a terribly tangled knot of mysteries we must carefully unravel. The monolith! The monolith! T-Corp's chief executive director offered to purchase the monolith from Limbus Company. Now we're selling artifacts that can induce distortions? It doesn't make sense. Our main business, at least on the surface, is distortion management. But now we're selling items that can make distortions? Maybe we're just building our reputation as distortion experts so we can guarantee the safety even with these artifacts. Well, if we're selling artifacts that create distortions and take care of distortions when it inevitably causes someone to distort, I guess that makes a business model with a cycle of profit. Not wrong! Not wrong! Distortions themselves. Spectacular! We encountered Spectacular, which can mimic not only the sinner's appearances, but also their identities and ego. I asked Faust how the Spectacular, which are just things that fail to even distort, were able to use ego, but Faust shut the entire conversation down by saying that it was still classified information. How did they even mimic the sinners from mirror worlds if they don't have the identity cards pulled from the mirror tech? Capitalism cheap. Make your own market. Exactly. No, Italian. Well, that explains it, because I at least... German and French and Spanish could probably at least count to 3. Italian, I got no fucking clue. But that's wonderful. We done that. There's only one thing left. La Mancha Land. Oh, they are tall buildings. We have to end the dream. Which oh my god, the title! Exactly, it's the book titles! It's how they do it! Which treats the life and the contracts of the not-so-famous but valiant Don Quixote. They do! They look like the book titles! Amazing. 10 out of 10 already. I'm so excited. The night approacheth with great haste. Yet thou shalt here open a path, cleaving the shadows in twain, with the blessing and approval of thy family, of which there is no equal. Challenge and vanquish all things perilous, and at last reach true happiness. Thus how indubitable the magnificence with which mine ingenious adventures of today shall shine, which is our adventure as well. You remember the words, right? A fixer must maintain a head clear of corruption, speech free of deceit, and conduct guided by clemency. Show courage in adventure, and bear pain and suffering, and pray forget not the mercy of the downtrodden. And last but not least, pursue your dream, even if it means wagering your life in the chase. Should you ever fail to stand by even one of these tenets, I'll smack you guys upside the head myself. Steel yourself and always, always keep moving forward. That is not a threat most unfair. Manager Esquire, how unfair of thee! Most unfair, I say! What is it this time? For once, I had believed that 'twas my time to shine. Much did I wish to be the one to pull off the final flourish in its deserved splendor. 'Twas my chance to mark my name in the newspapers. Returning to P-Corp's warp train station seemed to always remind Don Quixote of our last misadventure. She'd repeated that exact same complaint a few times now. Dawn noises are wonderful. Huh? Wherefore dost thou make an expression of such great dourness, manager esquire? I don't even have a face, let alone an expression. How untrue, how untrue, dost thou not see? All the things blessed with existence has heart, even the little critters, and indeed, even the blades of grass, which most people bother not to linger even a fleeting thought upon. Forsooth, an existence of a heart necessitates an expression, wouldst thou not say? And that is to say, we mustn't let the strength of the body be the scale in which we judge one's measure. Thus preserve, let only thy unbending heart be the tool with which thou dispensest justice. Hark! Hark! Ugh, right, out with it. Who encouraged the lass this time? Hark! Hearken unto me, manager, squire! Some time ago, in the freight car of the warp train. Oh yeah, that. Don Quixote, hey, can you hear me? Say something. Don Quixote regards me silently. No, that's some eldritch being who can't help but wish. Is Don Quixote staring at me? She opens her mouth. My instinct is screaming at me not to listen to her, but Don Quixote? Has the dream ended? I'm guessing is what it's saying. No. I don't think it's ended. Is that so? Rocinante, to me, I beseech you. I don't know if I gave her the right answer. Though my answer was an almost instinctual relay of a thought that manifested in my head, Don Quixote closes her eyes upon hearing my reply, as though drifting away into a gentle, pleasant dream. And I carefully slip the ragged pair of running shoes she called Rocinante onto her feet. I made a silent wish. Let her blood-red eyes never, ever open again. Huh? We have arrived? What devilry is this? Whither has the villainous blood feud gone? Don Quixote, didst thou strike down the cur? I'm back to the present. I kind of felt like we all missed out on something cool. I wish I was there with Faust and Dante when it all went down to see how you guys managed to kill that guy, you know? Let's not leave a certain someone out of the story, She was there as well, though she embarrassingly passed out like a coward in front of that blood fiend. The shame of Limbus Company, I say. S-O-L-C. Pathetic. Sinclair? Come on, we all passed out too, didn't we? She's gonna explode. She's gonna explode if you keep bullying her like this. I suppose I should have been there to take the reins of the sinners. You were there. Were you that scared of the blood fiend, Don Quixote? It's okay, I understand how you feel. A true hero standeth still and calm, unmoving in the face of such base mockery. I agree, Roger. I do feel like we missed out on something big. Because when we got there in the aftermath, all we saw was a very confused-looking Dante standing over the blood fiend's exploded, melted parts. Huh? I was standing confused? Was I? Maybe? Forsooth, why dost thou not wake me? I would have forgiven thee for slapping my cheeks upside down. So what actually happened in there? I already told you guys earlier, didn't I? What? You just trailed off with a that's, you know, sloshed. Absolutely sloshed. Until we changed the subject. What are you talking about? Executive Manager, perhaps you were in a similar state of explosive delirium to the one you experienced earlier. I am referring to the time when your head burst into flames. Oh no, it's Artist began glaring at me warily as though my clock head was about to explode at any moment. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, huh? Well, if you won't talk, then I turn to Miss Faust, our second eyewitness. Can I get some statements from you, madam? Roger asks confidently, is still in the mood to play detective. Faust does not have any information she deems necessary to share at the moment. Gotcha, then right back to you, witness Dante. Listen up. I have an important announcement to make, so pay close attention. I have no idea if it was coincidence or not, but Virgil has stepped in just at the right moment to divert the sinners away from me. As you're well aware, we've been contacted by P Corp to work on a case here. I suppose we've done this song and dance enough times for you to know what's coming. Right. Suppose we're having a scuffle, song, dance, or whatever higher up tops we want with distortions or abnormalities or what have you. To get it right? Haha! And 'tis a quest that leads us to lay claim on another golden stick in our hands, is it not? Don Quixote replies, brimming with excitement. Yeah, well, if the two of you were able to catch on that quick, then I don't suppose any further elaboration is necessary. Well, the two idiots got it, so everyone else should have got it. However, this operation will be somewhat... No. Let me correct myself. This operation will be drastically different from anything you have done so far. It may be one of our most bothersome missions. Well, when hasn't it be like that? I guess it would be pretty bothersome to have to tag along with a group that's 2-3 times larger than your own, but... The Sinner's institution appears to be growing sharper by the day. Oh, are we? Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna keep the guesses to myself from now on. It's not something that can be negotiated. Well, it isn't better to join a group 3 times our size rather than oppose it. This will be a joint operation then. Who will we be working with? I can't say I have the fondest memory of joint operations. Memories of pain, if you will. Our mission at K-Corp was our first and last experience with a joint operation. Enough. I still vividly remember watching Mersault's arm flying off, smacking against a pillar and squelching on the floor. A more accurate recounting of the event would have included the fact that my scapula was also forcibly separated from my torso. Can we just keep this between us? The other guys will give us. We'll just get in our way and screw things up. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I strongly agree with that one. Wow, catty. Hi, Nameless, welcome. How presumptuous of you all. You do well to remember that you are not the only team coming into this operation harbouring such arrogant thoughts. This contract, after all, an open contract posted by the Hana Association. The association overlooking the operations of fixers. Ooh. Mention of the big boys. Virgil stopped himself, noticing an ominous aura coming from one of the sinners. Well, yeah, of course she's going to freak out at the mention of the Hana Association. It's the fucking Hana Association. There stood Don Quixote, practically vibrating with excitement. Yeah, that makes sense, because Hana Association. Someone gagged Don Quixote at your earliest convenience. Allow me. Anyway, this means our colleagues joining the operation won't be any ragtag bands of fixers from some alleyway office no one's ever heard of. It's very likely that fixers from somewhat established associations will be joining us. The cool... You stop wriggling your lips. I'm so glad that Aldous visitor stopped Don Quixote from exploding into joy. Because if she hadn't, we'd be drawing the attention of every single person in a sizable radius around us. Right, so what kind of monsters are we dealing with this time? More than that, how do they want it done? You're talking like some straight shady backstreet fixer. Virgilus looked up just as Heathcliff asked his question. Further details will be shared by our client, who graces us with her timely arrival. Oh! And that cutscene graces us with its timely end. Because it is time to end the stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming! Alice doesn't move her hand. Donna's gonna inflate like a balloon and pop. She absolutely is. In which is explored Limbus Company's not exactly first alliance with a wing. So I guess we're teaming up with P-Corp then, I assume. But we'll find out next week. But for now, thank you so much everyone for coming. Thank you everyone in chat. Thank you anyone lurk. Thank you anyone watching the VOD. I really appreciate you coming. And hope you enjoy no matter which way you decided to view the stream. If you have not already, I would highly appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you've done that, go over to Twitch. Follow on there. If you've done that, join the Discord. That would be lovely if you could do those things. If you've done all of those things, you know what would I'd be grateful for? I'd be grateful if you like went to your favorite... Fine, I'll hydrate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hydrates. Okay, hydrated 5. I'd be grateful if you went to your favorite ebook retailer and searched for me, Bryony Rose Smith, and bought one of my books. That would be lovely. And if you're a YouTube member who's seen that post of all the free things, I'd appreciate it if you grabbed one of those books or one of the audiobooks. If you could give it a review afterwards, that would also be great. Reviews are very important for authors and all those things. They, you know, algorithms and whatnot. That is my shill. I will be back on Sunday. We're going to read more Don Quixote while we play more Don Quixote in Limbus. Isn't it good? We got the timing just right. Even though we're probably going to get through this entire canto before we get through the whole of the Don Quixote book. But who cares? We're gonna try. But that is all I have for you. So all I have left to say is I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Brandon with the Myth Live from the Bin Library. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Brionicles. Bye.